Welcome back, everyone, to Gamescom in Cologne, Germany. We are well underway with essentially our finals of the Intel Extreme matches, of course. Now EnVy up 1-0. They still hold on to their 3 lives. TSM now down to 2, and it sounds like it might be a little grim for them here on a rematch on Cobble from the very first match, in fact, of our tournament.
It sounds to me like EnVy's fans are more vocal than the TSM fans, so what's going on with that?
Yeah, it's a great start for EnVy, honestly. Looking so strong on the first map and then getting effectively a good map for them. This could knock TSM down to 1 life. We're not getting too far ahead of ourselves here because, you know, it was almost it was the first match of the tournament, wasn't it?
It was the very first one,
match,
yeah.
The very first day. So things can be very different on day one throughout the rest of the tournament. But from that game, before you get going, it was all about Apex and Kenny S attacking Long A. They had full control of Long A, and that was creating every opening for them on the T side.
But it's always hard to play the same team on the same map later on in the tournament. Because obviously you've seen them, that you get a feel of what went wrong and you get a feel of how they played and stuff like that.
Right.
Also, we saw TSM spending a lot of time watching a few smokes and tricks and things backstage after that match on Cobblestone. And we heard Kerrigan say that, you know, we wouldn't mind playing Cobblestone again.
Exactly what I was about to say. He's like, we want Cobblestone. So they are very much prepared for this one, I think. We shouldn't probably read too much into that first game. And it was 16-11 as well. It was still pretty damn close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't like a complete beatdown. Of course, that last map, though, was not so good for TSM. I mean, EnVy coming out strong. I mean, you guys have mentioned, as we were seeing Kenny, of course, coming up to play again, and you guys were mentioning it during the cast too. This is what happens when you have kind of a dream team lineup, is that Kenny doesn't need to perform.
Yeah.
But if he does, I mean, that's no problem for the team at all. That's the score you're going to get, 16-3.
It was all of them, though. It was Kenny, it was Keo, it was Apex. Everybody was on point when they needed to be. Like, everybody had that one round where they smashed the opposition. We saw Happy suddenly getting the triple with the AWP as well at one point when it was down to that 2-on-4 situation. So a lot of people were performing on that team, which is a great start, obviously, for EnVyUs. They've come into this one, black jerseys back on, so maybe they're feeling that they are at the fresh win. I don't know whether they're going to change that as soon as they lose a round.
It's just a methodical way of playing Counter-Strike how they were. It's just like you start the round pretty slow. We're trying to get a pick and then play by that. And when they got a pick on A, most of the times they felt like it's a weakness in middle. They went and took over middle and went through the vents and made a B split afterwards. A lot of things like that. And then when they had to speed up the game a bit, so it happened TSM was pushing A main. EnVy was pushing A lot faster than they were previously, and so it just felt like when you were watching it, it was like all the decisions EnVy was making were just spot on. But it's like a magical thing where, like, you obviously don't know what your opponent is doing, but it's just when you're looking at it, it feels like they know everything that TSM is doing.
And yet they were doing the tried and tested. And it was funny because it reminds me of the NIP TSM game back in Katowice. And I talked to Freiberg afterwards when they just steamrolled through TSM on Cash again. And he was just like, he did the same thing every round, though. How didn't they figure it out? So, you know, if it's working, why change it? And that's pretty much what I guess Happy was thinking. Because for the first 11 rounds of that game, they did exactly the same thing round after round.
Yeah, and then it just comes down to the timing and people hitting their shots. It's very basic things of Counter-Strike just going into your favor.
Yeah, obviously there are all these other factors going in. It's not just about the strategy. You have to have the individual skill. You have to be in good condition that day. But sounds like so far for EnVy it's working out. Now on Cobble, as we mentioned, they did play earlier in the tournament. Very first game against 16-11 score in favor of EnVy that time. But how do you think TSM is going to switch it up this time?
I mean, on that one, they lost both pistol rounds, I'm pretty sure. So that's already...
That's effectively
3-4 rounds difference. So, I mean, winning pistol rounds would make a world's difference already.
Yeah.
So it was a very close match. I don't think a lot of things need to change. It was a lot like Lee just said. It was a lot about Apex and Kenny just playing their first official match with EnVy and just like really showing everyone how good they are. I think it's going to be very much up to them again to pick up the task and see how EnVy does.
Remember we spoke to Happy about this game as well, and obviously remember they used that double stack at Fountain, which was like a bit of an unusual one. He's like, yeah, we thought we'd try things, didn't really work. I wonder if they're going to try it again. And it was against TSM. I wonder if TSM are going to read into it. The big thing for me on this one is obviously why we were talking about Kenny and Apex. They were opening up A side. Carrigan's almost always will flash himself through the smoke on B side and cause problems for them. And that's something that obviously EnVyUs needs to be well aware of. They're going to try and figure a way to stop him. But Cajun B, the nearest on your screen there, he was on point in the first game of the day. I don't think he lost that skill anywhere along the way. He definitely didn't fall off. He was just being basically overrun on B site on the cache map. So he's going to be a big part in this one. Obviously, we talked about Device and Cajun B, both big AWPers. AWP has a lot to play in this map.
I think the one factor to take into account is also the fact that TSM played Renegades before. It was a 16,
Yeah, a relaxing game.
Maybe that's one of those things
the
where
mindset.
Exactly, you're playing a match that is just a bit too easy, and then you play a team that is on a bit of a different level of Counter-Strike at this point in time. So could be a factor of there. Like,
bit of a wake-up call for them.
Yeah, it's like you're just not really in that right zone mentally. So let's hope that was a wake-up call getting trashed by EnVy there on the previous map. And maybe we'll see a completely different TSM here.
Yeah. Now for TSM, we're talking, overall, obviously it's just the mindset is going to matter a lot, but is there anything we're looking for specifically, not because that player has to perform, but in this map, a certain position we're looking at that you want to pay attention to? Can TSM hold it and then move on forward? Is that going to be a crucial part, or do you think overall, I mean, like you said, they've been practicing, or they've been trying to look and research into the map a little bit more after day one? It's just going to be TSM playing as 5.
Well, the big problem for TSM in that game, this was the first time we've seen EnVy. That was the very first time we saw EnVy, this new team, obviously with the changes. So that's probably what they've had to look at. They've had to go back and go, okay, like they did a few things that they wouldn't have done as the previous EnVy. There's been changes with Smiths and Shocks there. Maybe they wouldn't have done this now that Apex and Kenny. They were double teaming the whole time on the T side. So maybe they've looked at it. Obviously, they were looking through it. I walked past them. They were literally round with the pads out, making notes on it. So very much going to be a different game, I feel.
Yeah, for me, it felt like TSM previous on Cobblestone, they were just riding one horse, trying to get that one strategy work, playing by the picks a lot, but just not working out. So let's see if they're going to have a diversity here in tactics. If they're going to try to get the openings towards A, because we're trying to look for them towards B earlier on in the rounds.
All right, well, it is time to find out, ladies and gentlemen. TSM versus EnVy in their second game of the day. TSM, can they tie it up again 1-1 and bring EnVy down to 2 lives? It's going to be on Cobblestone.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Here it's the Intel Extreme Masters. I'm here with Jason Kaplan. And Jason, how do you feel about this matchup? It's exciting. EnVy, new lineup, and they just spank TSM on cash.
Yeah, that was a beating on cash. But Mike, they were saying on the desk, we've already had these two teams play once on Cobble. EnVy's beat them 16-11. Not to his mentioning, it's really hard to play the same team on the same map a little bit later in the tournament because they already figured out exactly how you're going to play. The question comes down to EnVyUs. Is this going to be the map they need? You know, we were saying before, if EnVyUs, or if you guys out there want EnVyUs to win, Cobblestone and Inferno are 2 more maps that you want to pick up for them. If you want TSM, you got to go the other route. But this is going to be the pistol round starting off.
Yeah, I'd say if you want, well, not just a 3rd map, but a 4th map, you need to vote for something other than Inferno next time around. Yep. You need to have Mirage or Train or Overpass in there at some point. Well, it's going to be TSM starting off on the CT side, leaving EnVyUs on the terrorist side, and they are all armor, no grenades here, and Glocks on the terrorist side. So I would expect that after they're done canvassing the map, they're going to build up for a very explosive Glock push here. And that's a nice shot from Happy, instantly taking down Dupree. What a way to start the second map.
What a one shot of this man. And then Keo coming up big towards Plat on B. It's going to be Cajun B, the last man to defend, with Zipmix finally rotating through. He's going to try to challenge towards drop down, but Happy picks up his second frag of the round.
Yeah, Cajun's gone down. Now it's just Device and Sipnik's left. Good shot there from Device, but he needs a lot more. And he is trying to see if he can get it. He hasn't reloaded yet. 1 bullet left, and he gets it on the last one on Kenny. And now it's still a 1v3. He's going to have to get a USPS ace to win the round. That was obviously never going to happen. Apex will take him out, and that's going to be EnVy off to another strong start here. Leading into the second round, we'll see if TSM is going to try for anything adventurous. They could go for a scout on Device and then pistols on everyone else. But it seems like they're going to go for the C-sets instead. No scouts in play, which I'm almost a little bit disappointed at.
I always like a little bit of good scout play coming out. So many fantastic shots, especially thinking towards MBK and even Chris J. But you see Kenny has to challenge out over towards long. Gets a kill onto Dupree with that Mac 10. Gets a lot of money in his pocket. And there we go. MBK just talking about that man with the scout does secure 1. But you know, the pistol round, I kind of want to go into that a little bit because it's not very often you see just a full armor buy-up for the T side just to rush, to push through. And they must have been really confident in their own aim to be able to win that round.
Yeah, I mean, usually you at least have one person who has like a couple of flashbangs and a smoke. If you do go full armor, I would say most commonly you'll try and well, in a Glock train, like we always say, try and group up and use the fact that you have the numbers advantage and run in somewhere. But they actually did split up quite a bit towards that bomb site. So I don't know, really well played by Envy, and obviously that opening headshot was just quite impressive here. Sipnik's looking for a kill and very nearly gets it. Would have been nice if he could have taken out Kenny, but Happy's the only one to go down. It's going to lead us into the third round here, where TSM, because they're only buying fairly lightly, maybe except for the Device here, and actually Cajun also picking up a Deagle, but otherwise no real armor, not a lot of grenades being invested in either. I think they just want to have as much equipment as they possibly can in the fourth round here, see if they can maybe even get some Molotovs in and buy time.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that B platform be such a pivotal point of this map, especially when you're on that C2 side, gaining that early control. But EnVyUs, they're picking up some pace, pushing over towards long, where they will have Device and they will have Zipnix over in this direction. And even Kenny S just sitting. Actually, he donated his MAC-10 over to Happy, and he just switched to the P250, so it looks like this man is trying to buy up that op into the next round. He already had 2 kills in the MAC-10 alone, so very possible. Looking searching straight through into the stairs. Zipnix does get one, does pick up the P250, but that's not the gun they wanted, and well done by EnVyUs just to sacrifice him, but they're going to have Cajun B pick up a kill into MBK, not able to get the gun just yet, but this is looking decently good for TSM.
It could definitely still work. If they get one more frag in here, then Envy are going to be a little bit worried. Happy's under half health, and Apex is also tagged up a little bit. Dupree in the middle here with the P250, and they are right around the corner. And even worse still, it's Apex with the bomb who's there. So if he drops, he's falling back now, but if he ends up dropping the bomb in the middle here, that will be a big problem for Envy. Then they kind of have to stick around and fight while Cajun gets caught. That might actually give Dupree a chance here. That might bait them into running through middle. Dupree, this is one shot range. He's going to get the shot there, but Happy's with the return. And now it's on Carrigan in a 1v2 with just a pistol.
He's got that P250. He's gonna spot them on the cross, but Kehoe coming up big. Gets a second kill of the round. A little bit expensive for EnVyUs, but nonetheless, they do secure it, only losing, what, like a P250, a MAC-10, I think maybe 1 AK in that. But there we go, yeah. TSM going for the full buy, like you're saying, all the utility on the back end to use. A lot of smokes, a lot of flashes. Not a single Molotov, though, coming in for them. So that B platform control is a little bit tricky, but it doesn't seem like EnVyUs are gonna be going that route.
They could have opted for an unarmored AWP if they wanted to on the CT side, but they haven't done that. And Kenny is going to be the main AWPer. There's been some confusion because it seems like everyone's all Happy sort of takes over, and people, tweet desperately saying, why is Happy AWPing instead? I think it's like a team decision. I don't think it's like Happy's just going to take it away from Kenny, but if Kenny's not hitting the shots, they've got someone else who can try, and it's a fairly reasonable approach, I think. And
I mean, you saw just yesterday, when Kenny S wasn't feeling it, Happy stepped up like a beast with the op. And it seems like Kenny S was feeling very confident. You saw his performance in that first game already, hitting almost every single one of his shots. So this is a very scary thing for Team Solo Mid. But we're into the fourth round still. A little bit of a slower pace. EnVyUs still have a lot of smokes to use as they're grouping up towards this B side. So it looks like they want to have this execute happen with Dupree and Carrigan, the 2 men to defend. Dupree still with 2 flashbangs, Carrigan with nothing. It's going to come down to, can Dupree land these counter flashes if they go for this push?
Still about 40 seconds left, and Carrigan, I think, is going to be able to spot the first man coming out, Kiyoshima, but they're being sandwiched in from drop zone as well, and this is a great play from Envy. Good timing, could not be better. Cajun going to get a kill, but he goes down, and Sipnix and Device are going to be left 2v4, and this actually explains a lot about why people have stopped holding exactly like TSM were holding just now at the B-bomb site, but instead tend to group up very close to the drop zone. So you essentially have like a 3-man stack in between the tree and the actual drop zone. And then if they come drop, you try and have almost everyone focus on that. And if they come out the plateau, then you can probably turn around and get a couple of kills. But you can even allow them to be on the plateau for a while, as long as they don't sandwich you in. That sandwich effect is what kills that B-bomb site more often than not.
Well, Device will be able to secure 1 kill into Happy and secure that AK, but the rest of the team of EnVyUs is going to be able to escape and take 4 rounds straight. Most importantly, that gun round. So Team Solo Mid, what are they going to do to get back into this? Not a lot of money to use, but to back up Device, looks like Zipnix is going to buy up.
Now moving into the 5th round, saved M4, stolen AK on Device, and no armor on anybody else. But they have bought smokes on the remaining TSM members, which is a good idea, just to try and put pressure on the terrorist side. Sometimes you end up making mistakes if you feel like the smoke is going to continue. You feel pressure to run through it if time runs low.
Yep.
So a couple of grenades like that can definitely force a terrorist team to make some mistakes that maybe they shouldn't, but it's a high pressure situation anyway.
Oh, whoa, look at this Apex. He's being able to push up towards middle, and you already spotted out that Zipnix over towards Long. He has a teammate to back him up. NBK with the bomb, looking for this push on towards A. And Apex is walking straight through. NBK off to the side, gonna be able to help up as Zipnix gets the first kill. Happy still distracting towards B, but EnVyUs, they're gonna secure a push onto this A site. You still have KGB tucked in. You have Zipnix towards Long. You have Kerrigan physically in Long with that P250. Gonna secure a kill on a Kiyoshima. He's gonna try to rescue this gun, but he's gonna be taken down by Happy.
Really good job on Kerrigan, and that's a big trade. Pistol, no armor for a rifle and armor, but Kenny's there with the reply. Going to be taking down Sipnix, and now it is going to be a 3v3. Cajun hiding in the back corner here, and I'm not sure if they spotted him. I don't think so. Grenade not going to do too much here, and Dupree's going to try and beat the distraction and waiting for Cajun to peek on out. NBK is thinking about it. He's faking it. Smart play from NBK, realizing that there was a chance. And now Device is going to be left in a 1v4 here. Got the AK in hand, going to go down to NBK, and that's going to be 5-0. And TSM in a, I won't say an awful position just yet. They're on the CT side. I think you can still win a bunch of rounds on the terrorist side of this map, but certainly they need to win this round and start to get back in the game a little bit.
Yeah, I'm trying to think back to when they played against Mouse Sports back in the ESCA Pro League, and it was one of the first games you start to see the CT team pick up quite a few rounds. But I wonder if they transition a little bit more over towards the terrorist side. But I have to ask you, Anders, you know, EnVyUs, we had the roster swaps happen, Titans looking good. EnVyUs, to me, are looking fantastic. The only loss they've had this entire tournament has been on train against Mouse Sports, one of their least practiced maps. What's your thoughts on them?
No, it's very, very exciting. Usually you expect there to be at least a couple of weeks, maybe even a couple of months before a new team starts to function really well. But I think they'll have their ups and downs still. But this is definitely a great start for them. Look at Kiyoshima, another headshot there as Carrigan goes down. And a couple of tabs coming out. Dupree very nearly falls. Device will fall. And it's going to be up to Dupree now. 1v3. It's very tough. I mean, I'm almost tempted to say he should just try and walk away, but then he's sandwiched in, so not sure where he'd walk away to. Grenade is actually gonna stop him. That was the park grenade collision there as Kenny takes him out, and it's also top fragging, or at least tied fragging with NBK. 0 and 2 for Kenny and 7, 3 and 1 for NBK. Pretty good start indeed.
This is very dangerous. TSM, they've not picked up any momentum. They've not picked up a single round, and kills are still a little bit lackluster for them. They do have the op, though. Find their hands of Device. He's going to be aggressive, pushing up over towards Long A, and he will have the chance to meet up against someone. There's 3 men slowly walking towards him. If he can just get this kill and back away, it would be phenomenal. That's going to be a kiss. Kenny peeking around the corner. Dupree does pick up one over towards that B site. So now they know it's going to be an A hit. I think they got enough information, and that's going to be Device getting the tag onto the leg of Kenny S, but not picking up the kill. They're going to continue to just jump past him, forcing him into a really bad spot.
He needs backup in here. There's someone right behind him. He sees it as well, but he can't really do much, and he's going to end up going down. If Device had got that kill on Kenny, he probably would have tried to back off, and it would have been fine. Sipnix hiding on the right-hand side in the middle. And there is someone sneaking around back, and that's Dupree, and that could be the winning move here for TSM. Nice shot from Cajun, and this round is now on a clock for Envy. They don't know it yet, but they're about to lose. When Dupree gets a little bit closer, it might be the first round finally for the Danish team here. Kenny and Kyo are left. It's a 2v4, and they're boxed in. There's not a lot that they could do right now. Dupree gonna take down Kiyoshima, and Kenny, all he could do now is try and get some rifles away from TSM, which would be important.
Well, let's see if he can pull that off. He has Dupree off towards the backside. Kerrigan flanking him from behind. He's gonna miss that first quick scope. Gonna flash off to try by a little bit of time. Hoping as Mix will be able to push him in on. There we go. He will fall. That's gonna be an op picked up for TSM. Question is, will this secure a second one made for Cajun B? And they have done that. So the double up setup coming out of TSM. EnVyUs still have so much money to spend. Kenny S was on 11K. But did they actually? I don't think they. No, I was gonna say I don't think they bought an op, but he dropped an AK for a teammate, picked up the op for himself. And we're back into the next gun round.
So Envy definitely with enough money to buy in the upcoming round, and if they lose this one, so TSM have got to make this 6 and 3 before they can start to think about coming back into the game here. Device spots the top of the smoke there. Apex trying to sneak around, and he's going to end up going down. So now it feels like maybe there is a bit of an opening here for TSM, and now they can really afford to play defensively, which is definitely what they should be doing.
I think his EnVyUs haven't really challenged out too much on that B site. We did see Keo with that, the 2 fantastic headshots then as he went down on that 3rd man, but they haven't really pressured this, and this is going to allow them to have another avenue to hit. We do have KGB like tucked in a platform ready to go though, as EnVyUs have grouped up, but there's only 2 men here. It's Dupree back towards connector and Kerrigan watching towards drop.
Yeah, this position from Cajun I'm really worried about. They have Molotovs, and he could easily get burned out of this position. MBK though will go down, and now At about 50 seconds left in a 5v3, it shouldn't be a problem. And there it is, Cajun, the Molotov in, and Kiyoshima killing him as he tries to walk out. Dupree also gonna burn alive, so it's still a 2v3, and Envy could still crawl back into this round, but Carrigan is very nearly gonna secure it. Now it's all on Kenny here in a 1v3. This is what he used to be able to do a lot of, and he gets the first shot in, still got the open hand, and about 28 seconds, gonna put up the smoke. He wants to make this a 1v1 before he even thinks about putting down the bomb. It's very risky otherwise. He's gonna fake it once, go for it, he misses the shot and ends up dropping. If he gets that on Sipnix, there is a legitimate chance, but TSM will win it. And not exactly smiles on their faces yet. I think it's all focus right now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they're too happy with how the first map went, not to mention being down still 4 rounds. But EnVyUs, like you said, able to buy up yet again. Kenny's gonna be able to secure an AK, and the team's still looking good on grenades. But the double up setup, you know, that early peek out device, it locked down a lot of control of the map. And they're still able to maintain it into the next round. He's being very aggressive towards long, where he won't really have anyone to challenge out on just yet, but he's gonna unfortunately not connect the shot, taking down to 48 health, and Cage be able to open up on Kiyoshima over towards B.
Happy, admiring his own grenade skills.
You have to watch it when you miss it. You just, it's a look of shame.
Well, I mean, good job on device anyway. You could see that he was pre-aiming that angle. He knew exactly where they were going to be, but just couldn't quite connect. Happy and MVK are quite low, but Apex is going to get the refrag, and that means we're in a 4v4 here. Still plenty of time left. B defense is somewhat light at the moment. Sipnix though has a big opening here with the M4, and he's not going to get the kill, but Cajun will get the refrag, and Apex goes down. Cajun in the back lines here looking for Kenny, but the headshot from the AK is going to crush him, so now it's a 2v2.
Yeah, Kerrigan coming in from connector. You have Dupree sitting towards balcony. Happy has to spot out the first man. He's going to push MK. He's going to be able to get this bomb down in sight. So we're going to be playing an apps plan situation. Dupree coming through, and he will get taken out now. Kerrigan, and a 1-on-2 is Happy, picks up another. And we have to point out Apex. You know, he's always been, or not really questioned, but he's never really been able to shine too much on the entry fragging. But today, this whole tournament, he's been having a phenomenal time. And again, picking up 2 big kills to open up the A site.
And that is going to put TSM back on an eco, whereas if they had won that round, probably Envy would have been ecoing instead. So this is a really, really big shift in the first half that's going to heavily favor EnVyUs. They are looking like they might take this second map if TSM don't do something about it. And already with a bit of a reply is Dupree with the Deagle.
Something we've been talking about quite a bit too is the whole double op setup. You know, teams that are able to use 2 ops. One thing we don't really point out too much is that how expensive it really is. And when you're kind of teetering on these rounds like Team Solo Mid is, you know, buying up a double op into the next round is going to be very, very difficult to do. You're looking at a couple glass cannons most likely. But if you can secure a round, you know, with pistols, get that op away from Kenny S, makes things a little bit more feasible. But Kerrigan going to be the lone man on towards B. EnVyUs, even with those 2 kills, are not rushing into this just yet. They want to stabilize that economy like you're pointing out. If they lost that last round, they would have been ecoing themselves. So secure as many kills as you can get. Keep as many guns alive. But Kerrigan, I don't know if they're going to check this spot, most likely.
Well,
no, I see him.
Apparently they could see him, so no luck there at all. Cajun with a good kill, but Happy's going to come up from behind and finish the round. So 8-2, and the pain train just will not stop here for Envy. Stubble Molotov. I wish they'd buy a couple or more on the Envy side, because they've actually been doing a fairly good job of checking sort of fun spots for TSM to hide in so far, so might as well keep doing it. They've been successful once over at the B plateau, and there are so many spaces on this map where someone could be hiding in a corner, so Molotovs, I think, are very, very important on the terrorist side. A bit of a faster pace here as Kiyoshima drops down and takes out Dupree. Boost up, and a nice shot from Carrigan to take down Apex. Very important return kill. Happy, though, is going to win that fight against Sipnix, and now it's down to a 3v3. They're trying to rotate the bomb on over to this bomb site, but the Vice is in the middle, and feels like they know.
Well, they're going to go the long route, though, as Happy just waiting on the alert for people to challenge him. He's going to spot out Kerrigan. He's going to miss the spray, and Kerrigan takes him down. That Device looking for the kills. MBK comes in with the jump shot, and now it's quickly turned into a 2-on-2. Kenya still with the AWP in hand, pushing up towards long. KGB trying to get inside of sight. And Kerrigan trying to help cover things off. And EnVyUs, they do have a smoke on MBK.
NBK shouldn't have got that kill, but Kerrigan shouldn't either, so I guess there's some sort of balance in the universe here, but that was a very, very strange couple of kills there. Flashbang on now, and there's a nice shot from Kerrigan to take down NBK, and that drops the bomb as well, so now it's on Kenny. 1v2, about 30 seconds left. Last time he was actually close to doing a 1v3. This time, see if he could do it when there's one less member alive. And he's got the C set as well. I think he knows where they both are. He's just seen Carrigan run away, and he must be able to guess where Cajun is. He must have heard the shots behind him.
Well, with 15 seconds to go, he's got to pick up some pace. He's got to hope for this 1v1 up against Kerrigan, then get the bomb down thereafter. This is going to be very difficult. He doesn't have like any time to work with. The bomb plant's going to take 5 seconds alone. He's going to go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan just going to charge him down. He's going to miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny S, he picks up the kill. Kerrigan should not have, but then he gets the second. Kenny S clutches the round. Oh my lord, that should not happen.
That is quite possibly one of the most depressing things I've seen so far. That was, I mean, never mind that TSM is already losing this map quite a bit, and they lost the first map quite a lot. That's the sort of thing that takes a long time to get over when you're a player. You can't just shake that off easily. That's going to be at the back of your mind for a while.
And the look on TSM's face after that round.
Yeah.
They know they should not have lost that. Well, either way, Zemnick's trying to carry his team back through as Apex takes him down. Device still here towards stairs. EnVyUs are looking, honestly, like a fantastic team. Kenny S is flourishing in the games today.
And I don't even know how to go on from that. That is.
You know that's going to be on Reddit easily by the end of the day. Probably within the next hour, that'll be on the top. That's EnVyUs securing their 10th round on T side of Cobble. They're already sitting pretty on 3 lives. TSM down to 2.
I mean, what Carrigan is thinking is, if I go for the AWP shot and I somehow miss it, then, you know, he'll probably get the bomb down. Like, you know, for me to take a second shot, that's going to be enough time. So I'll go for the pistol instead. It makes a lot of sense, but all the hindsight in the world.
Yeah.
There are so many ways he could have won that, but that's easy enough for us to say, I suppose. It's going to put TSM in an even worse spot than they already were in. Dupree trying to see if he could do it again. He does find the opening frag with the Deagle, and Happy's roaming around in drop down, and Carrigan is going to take him out. Nice USP shot this time around, and it's going to be a 3v3. So actually pretty good job from TSM here. They did not have a lot of equipment going into it. Now they have the AK, AWP, and the C set on Sipnix, and MBK might be walking in to a bit of a quick death here, as Carrigan is waiting right below him.
Kerrigan, though, he's turned around, and MBK, the timing on that was phenomenal. Now Zipnik's going to fall to Kenny S, and that's going to be Device going down as well. EnVyUs are steamrolling TSM, and that kill spread across the board is phenomenal. MBK on 12 kills, Kenny S on 13, Apex Happy on 12, and Keo at 8. Everyone is stepping up. Everyone's making big plays. And EnVyUs even have the black jerseys, the lucky jerseys they coined it just the other day.
Yeah, this is very difficult to even really analyze too deeply right now, because it's... What? Device? Device? All right, he's going to pick up the Mag 7 and get back into the action. I mean, I would say a couple of more signs that maybe TSM are sort of tilting it a little bit, which is something that they are well known for. I won't say they're sort of mentally unstable, but they do tend to go on a bit of a tilt when things don't start to go their way. MBK will go down there. The newly recovered Mag 7 gets put into play. And another 3v3, which is perfectly winnable. But it seems like every time we're in this situation, Envy just rack up all the kills.
Wants to cut down to Cajun B and Happy. If Happy just rounds this corner, he's going to spot him out. Gets Kerrigan in his face, though, and Cajun B, can he hit the shots onto Kenny? He will secure that. And TSM now with Keo in a 1-on-3. Will be secure another round on the board finally, but this is still looking so grim just in the first half alone.
Yeah, I mean 11-4 is not enough on the CT side here, not even close. Very, very tricky for TSM right now. I think right now they've got to rely on the fans voting not for Inferno but for Mirage or for Overpass. I think will be the 2 best maps right now. If you want TSM to try and win the next map, then that's what you've got to try and do, especially if you want to see more of this series, then that would be a smart call. Otherwise, it could be Envy taking 3 in a row. But it's not like they don't deserve it. They are really playing great Counter-Strike at the moment, and it's a real joy to watch. I mean, we've got to be excited that we've got a French team that's functioning at such a high level, and We don't even know about Titan yet, but they could also be very powerful, I reckon.
We caught a glimpse of them at the ESL 1 Cologne European offline qualifiers, and they had some I think they had a good showing going up against Ibeto on train, pushing that one into, I think it was triple overtime. Kerrigan over towards Tree has already picked up 1 frag in this round. And I can secure that second, and looks like he won't be able to do just that. As Happy won't be able to take him down, but Zitnik's gonna be here towards middle. The bomb is on MBK, so if MBK falls, if he doesn't get any backup, then this could be looking very bad. This could be TSM picking up a 4th round.
Nice shot there. Cajun also taking down Apex. Very important that Sipnix actually took that aggression, because otherwise he would have been flanked around as soon as Cajun potentially gone down. So now Sipnix is down there, but he's got the bomb, and it's a 2v2. Happy rolling in with the AK. Sipnix got the right angle for it, and it's going to get the kill, making it a double, which is going to leave Kenny. And Jason, we've been here before, haven't we? 15 seconds left. Yeah, it feels like it. He's going to take it and run. Can he make it all the way to the B bomb site in 10 seconds? No, he can't. He's going to have to run, and he's now trapped. I don't think there's enough time this time around. This is very unlikely. 6, 5, and Dupree's in the corner, and this time there's not going to be any kind of mess up. 11-4. I mean, Envy, yeah. Happy's body language right now is not an indication of how this first half went. They should be very happy with what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just looking at that, Happy's face, it kind of makes you wonder, well, is he actually happy with this? Like, obviously this is like kind of a training phase for them. They're going to figure out where they kind of stand against the top teams. Maybe they're expecting to pick up a couple more rounds. It really doesn't seem to show much emotion. And on the side of TSM, though, if they lose this game, if they can't pick up this pistol round, they're going to be down to 1 life.
Maybe they've reached a point where they're thinking, at least you can give us some resistance. This isn't even fun, We're winning too much at this point. All right, well, TSM are going to go for a bit of a mix of armor and grenades, whereas Envy have all armor again on the CT side. And that's unusual. Kenny over the good starting headshot there, taking down Device. The second one on Sipnix, and Apex is going to be taking down Kerrigan. This is a disaster for the Danish team. The Frenchmen, they're powering through, and Cajun is actually going to come up with a very, very quick triple kill to bring it back into a 1v1. What a ridiculous pistol round already, and there's more than a minute left. That's how fast it was. Cajun rolling back in, and he one-shots Happy, and he takes down all of EnVyUs, bar 1 that Dupree got. That is an incredible turnaround, highly unlikely.
That shot was so amazing out of him, and not to mention keeping TSM's hopes alive as we're into our second game, basically of this best of 5. They're going to be able to buy up the Galils, even an ump in there for Dupree. But Kenny has, 2 big kills in the beginning, MBK with a 3rd, KGB somehow landing those shots at the end. It might have just saved him. We need to see if TSM build up some momentum off this.
Well, I wanted TSM to get the scouts when they were on the CT side, and Envy might have been listening in, I suppose, because they've got 2 of them instead, but pretty good reaction there from TSM. Kenny's going to steal it away, though, and Apex also has his. So I think this is a really good choice. Cajun's already been tagged up once, and if TSM slow play this and don't group up and actually take charge of this round, they could easily be whittled down by the scouts.
Look at that, EnVyUs have rotated over towards the A side as well, so TSM just pick up any sort of pace here. They're going to have this B site for free. Yeah, looks like EnVyUs are just going to try to save, I'm assuming.
The flip side of it is, if they come A, they probably win this round. If they go B, they get to save what they have and use it in the next round. It's actually not such a bad gamble here for Envy. Maybe try and look for a couple of exit frags if the bomb goes down B, but I understand why they'd want to try and do this.
Question comes, is TSM going to chase this down? They know they have at least 1 scout, and they're able to take care of it on MBK, but Kenny's was able to secure it. They know they have armor, I believe. Actually, no, I'm not really sure, because MBK didn't have it. That's why he died of the grenade so easily, so...
Yeah, they must be able to guess, so I think TSM would be happy enough if they could get a couple of these scouts away. The advantage is they know for the upcoming round that the scouts are there, so I hope that they stay grouped up and move fast as a unit. They can wait around a little bit if they want to, but Dupree, the aircon, all right. I just don't want to see them slowly sort of, seep into a bomb site. They need to all go as a group.
Yeah, don't let those scouts pick up a lot of extra damage in. Not to mention the pistols to back it up. But let's see, we do have EnVyUs able to maintain all those guns in the next round. We're going to see 1 nade out of Kenny S and a big stack towards B. I wonder if they're going to actually boost up drop or just kind of sit in that B site and gamble on this.
Well, they are certainly gambling, you're right. It's all stacking up at that B bomb site. MBK trying to get a couple of shots through. They hear that one scout, and did they even see Apex scout on the other
I
round?
don't believe so, no.
So they might not know that there's the double scout in play. And MBK is rolling back in towards the A bomb site. This could get interesting. This is, I mean, a great range to use the scout with. And again, if TSM misplay this round and end up going too slowly and too much one person at a time, it could heavily backfire on them.
Well, we talked, or I think it was Natsu talking earlier on about how TSM was playing on the T side, very kind of swarmy method, come in as one giant wave, don't get picked off one by one, and then secure the rounds. And I think we agree with them. We need to see that. But MBK able to pick up that first kill, a good position on top of the APC, but gonna back away though. We'll have Happy here to help him out. And Kerrigan rotating back. It's gonna be an A hit. They're smoked off towards Connector. And Happy with the CZ. Oh, KGB's not gonna check him. He's gonna have a free kill, but it will be MBK going down. Happy getting the Galil now in hand. Trying to pick up a kill as well onto the site. He's gonna spray him down, but can't connect. And now it's Keo and Apex in a 2-on-3, but look at the health bars of TSM.
Yeah, it's not too good. I think Sibnix actually got hit initially from the first shot that MBK took. That was a double hit. They managed to hold on to it and make it 7-11. Now, this is a mirror of what EnVy were doing when they were on the terrorist side. They also end up picking up the pistol, winning the next 2 rounds. The big thing, the ring that really sent sort of TSM spiraling down when they were on the CT side was the fact that EnVy also won this 4th round. So if TSM would do the same, we might actually have a real game on our hands here on Cobblestone. If they lose this round, I don't think EnVy are going to stop.
Well, there was 16-11 last time, but EnVyUs off the back of that ridiculous win just prior, 16-3 on Cash, if you missed that on that one. EnVyUs though, looks like he will be forced back towards long. But I feel like TSM on the T side, just like we saw in Dust 2, like to play very standard, but look at this Apex.
I really want to point out the setup that's going on over at B right now, which is what I was talking about, having a much tighter circle around where the drop room is, and that's exactly what EnVy are doing. So I'd say right now they have a better setup in B than TSM did. I'm definitely very excited to see that. They're sort of switching up now because they haven't heard or seen anyone. So it's all right for them to try and rotate a bit around. They've got a pretty good read right now on what TSM are doing. But the initial B setup is worth noting and how it differs from what TSM were doing.
Well, hopefully we do get to see that in action in the next few rounds or two. TSM are taking the time. There might be a kill coming in over towards middle. Look at Device. You're going to have Apex off to the side. They're trying to push down, drop down. This could be a 3-2 split. And Happy going to fall. But Kennyus and Apex, I don't think we expect 2 men here. Kennyus can take that initial shot, but it will be Apex coming in big. Kennyus secures the 2, and they've just shut down this 3-2. They have the bomb. They have enough people alive to defend this. And like you're saying before, TSM, if they lose this round, it might just be EnVyUs picking up some steam.
Right, 2 people pushing middle, 2 people down in drop zone. They get the entry frag on Happy, I believe.
Yep.
And at that point, you'd think that the people playing on the slope at the A-bomb side are in a world of trouble, right? Because in the middle, there are 2 people. They can't push that way. Behind them, there are another 2 people coming up. But TSM didn't get both sides of that push timed correctly, maybe because they never knew that there were 2 people in there. So they ended up having, 2v2 fights instead of 1 big 4v2 fight instead. And yeah, now they've got a 4-man stack at B, and look again how tight they are close to this drop room. It's very hard to break this hold that EnVy have. Even if you split from plateau and drop at the same time, they're going to be able to use multiple people at either side. The flashes are coming through. NBK turning around. He does go down, and Sipnik pick up a kill. Great job here on TSM. Apex also going to be dropped after taking down Debris. And now in the back lines, they never saw this coming. Happy's here, he takes 1, he sprays down Device as well, and now he's actually a chance. They can win this round. It's a 2v2. Kenny running through the fire, and sprays, almost takes down 1. They line up for him. They're on 2 and 5 health, and it's just on Happy. He could get the quad and win the round, or they could end up throwing this away. Happy's low as well. The Sipnix has a grenade, and if he throws it now, it's going to be all over. He taps it once, and there it is. Happy explodes, and Sipnix with the triple kill clutch.
I feel like it's like a case of the commentator's curse. They're talking about that tight hold on B and how hard it is to break. Then TSM just walks straight through. It's just like, well, thanks guys for showing me that I was, yeah, doing something completely different than what I was just saying. But I mean, I agree with you. TSM that hold, or EnVyUs that hold they can provide is so damn strong. But TSM, a couple of nice shots and they really kind of cracked that one open. But they didn't expect Happy there as was able to secure those 3 kills. But either way, it's going to be EnVyUs with the save, and they have all 5 men over towards B. 3 CZs. A deagle for Keo, and MBK on the P250. If TSM come B, they're going to be in a world of pain.
what we learned yesterday and also on the first day is that EnVy have, in spite of the roster change, have still maintained this ability to win these rounds where they just have CZs and a little bit extra. So TSM should be a little bit scared. Looks like they're grouping up to get onto the plateau, which is probably where EnVy is stacked up. But Kenny will go down Keo, close with the deagle. Gonna miss the first shot, and usually when you have a deagle, that's a death sentence.
Yeah, he will go down. Happy now, lurking in the smoke though. I think that was the mix potentially pushing through, but looking for a couple of kills. Kerrigan still sitting on the Galil. Something's just spraying through as he's trying to connect to Pre. Will get one. Happy will respond. And Happy gets a second with one bullet. Now it's quickly turned into a 2-on-2 as we're going to see Happy fall at MBK by himself with the AK. Most likely going to try to save this one and escape. And that will be TSM getting their 9th round on the board. I think MBK just trying to make it a little bit more expensive. He gets the shot onto Kerrigan. And that is going to hurt for Solomid.
You've just got to be super impressed, as Device is saying there. Nice shot, Happy. It absolutely was. The second one, you almost wonder, it almost seems like it's just an instinct at that point, you know.
That muscle memory is just amazing.
So 9-12. I would still say the comeback is some distance off here, and I think now is where EnVy also need to show us that they've got something they can change up on the CT side here, whether it be a bit of aggression. We've seen counter boost in drop zone as well. There are a couple of things you can try on this map to throw TSM off, because right now the Danes are showing us that if they get a chance to set up, then they know what to do. Kiyoshima should have definitely gone down Dupree in the perfect position, and that was EnVy trying to switch it up. Just Dupree caught sleeping a bit, I think.
Yeah, 100% on that one. And you talked about aggression, and we do have Kennyus and Apex pushed up towards A with MBK still sitting in drop down. I was actually thinking, you know, the rounds that EnVyUs have been pretty much successful in is when they've, you know, pushed up, got the early aggression towards A, gathered the information, they were able to read the opponents off the back of that. But with the early man advantage, this is looking good for EnVyUs. And teams to the mid, they do not have that stable of an economy. They have been unable to build something like that up. There he goes, a mixed middle push down on drop, where Happy's already waiting.
It's a good setup as well. MBK already being a bit of a distraction. Happy hiding in the corner. Sipnix is going to check it and win that fight, but nice trade there as MBK takes down one and a second one. And Kerrigan falling. Cajun replying onto Kiyoshima. And a good shot there from Device. He could have had a second one, but now it's all on Cajun. 30 seconds, 2 health, and an AWP, and they're stacked up in a very good position here. As soon as he takes this shot, he should be going down. There's the one, and right next to him is going to be Kenny, and EnVy will win the round 13-9 here. And from their point of view, pretty feels like that was about time. Out of the first 7 rounds, they've only won 2 of them here in the second half. So I feel like they needed that round. The TSM, on the other hand, even though they've won 5 out of 7 rounds in the second half, they only have pistols and armor here. They can't afford that much.
Yeah, EnVyUs has done a great job over this entire game of just chipping away at TSM. Yeah, like you said, they won 5 out of 7 rounds, but they haven't won it cleanly, and that's made it so they're back on the, you know, the P2 or the Tech 9s and the armor by Keo. Oh, this is going to be so difficult for TSM to break. Just those jump shots with that Mag 7 can be so impactful. Apex has already pushed out long A. They know it's going to be towards B, and they're rotating everyone in. TSM are walking into a trap.
Jumping Mag 7. Is there anything better? Q's actually flashed still, but they haven't checked him, and he's going to get 1 and 2 mid-air. Is there a third one in it? No, not quite, but Kenny will take down Cajun, and this is still looking good, although they almost group up for Device. There a little bit of clutter on EnVy's side has brought it back into a 2v2. No bomb plant, but plenty of time. And Device roaming around and shooting inside the smoke is going to be Apex to finish him off. And now Sipnix to try and clutch it. He's done it a couple of times already on this Cobblestone map, but now he really has to step it up. And Apex will shut him down instead and make it 14-9. Another 2 rounds, Jason, and we're going to go on to a third map.
And that was a risky buy-up too, because now teams to the mid can't really buy. I mean, they can afford the armor and the pistols yet again. They made it pretty much expensive for the side of EnVyUs, but you know, going into the penultimate round, and they're not gonna have any money to spend. They're not gonna have the rifles that they're gonna need.
No, so I mean, either they save and try and play for overtime, or they just force up like they did now and try and see if they can make it work. Apex gonna get the one. They're in the fire, fighting him as well. That's very brave. And finally, Cajun is gonna be able to take down that kill. Kenny's kind of low on health, and he ends up dropping to Device, who's alone in a 1v3. And I don't see this working out. I think EnVy, this might be nearly the final nail in the coffin here for TSM.
And keep in mind, guys, I mean, these are maps that you guys have chosen. These are two of the maps that EnVyUs are going to be very strong on. You still have Overpass, Mirage, and Trained open to be voted for TSM. So if you want to see TSM potentially take a map and bring it into the best of 5, you guys are going to need to be voting for that one. But let's see if Device can do anything in that 1-on-3. He has no chance of getting this bomb unless he gets through Keo, MBK, and Happy. He will spot the first one, go for the spray, gets the kill through the door on Akio, so it is possible. He's got the time for it. Will he hit his shots?
Well, double flash over, walks into the smoke, and NBK just pre-firing it. Triple kill as well for the French player, who's currently at 24 kills and top fragging.
And the thing we were talking about before about EnVyUs, you know, how they have a team of superstars. Anyone can show up and anyone can carry the team. And, you know, MBK, he's been relatively quiet this entire tournament. But saying they're top fragging, like you said, with 24 kills, you have Q allowed to sit back, Apex at 19. It shows the true power of this team. And, you know, within a couple of months' time, or even, well, for their sake, in about 10 days' time, they could really show up and have a fantastic finish at ESL 1 Cologne, the next major. Minute 25 left on the clock. EnVyUs could take a 2-life lead to put TSM down to 1. They can secure this round.
Molotov's Tech-9s, a single deagle on Dupree, and now the game is going to be on here. On the plateau into the B bomb site, they're already rushing through. Kiyoshima picking up the first kill, and that's the deagle gone. NBK next in line. Kenny, and now it's going to be up to Carrigan and Cajun. There's nothing they can do. The game is going to be done. Very impressive. NBK ending up at 26 kills, and Envy maybe not quite as decisively as on Cash, but still enough that TSM are going to be feeling very bad going into the third map. What a performance here from the French team. I'm very impressed.
I think this just reaffirms that the roster swaps that happened worked out for both teams. You know, Titan qualifying for the major, doing a great job, starting to really get in their zone. EnVyUs in a best of 5 up against one of the best teams in the world, winning already now 2-0 in the lead. I guess 3-0 overall across the entire tournament. Yeah. TSM need to go back to the board. They need to reach out to their fans. They need them to vote for some maps that will favor them.
That could definitely be very important at this stage of the tournament. You have to expect, you can kind of tell from the body language here that they're not too excited, Jason.
Yeah, I mean, would you be? I mean,
No.
You've had such a good run in 2015. You've been struggling in this tournament now up against EnVyUs. They need to come up with something new. I think they need to take some time, talk things over, and come up with another plan.
Yeah, well, we're going to have a bit of an analysis going on over at the desk, so Chodbra, take it away.
Thank you very much, sir. What a game, and I think the talk of that game, everyone's talking about that round. I mean, we saw Kerrigan thinking about it. Of course, Kenny going big too, and people saying like Kenny's back. That's the Kenny moment. But let's talk about. There's two sides to that round for sure. The clutch by Kenny.
Let's look at it from Kerrigan's perspective. First of all, the pistol moving accuracy is actually pretty good. With that range, he should be hitting those shots when he's running around with the pistol shooting. Second of all, why is he running towards his position is because he does not want to be exposed to a potential second player watching from another angle, which he's not 100% sure of where he is. That's why he's running and shooting. Third fact is the hitboxes when you're planning are just skewed in this game right now, and that's another exhibit of it. Obviously, you know, it was an amazing shot by Kenny.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course, no credit taken away there. I mean, turn it around on both players and then getting those shots.
But you got to explain a little bit of what happened from Carrigan's perspective.
And you need to look at the body language, obviously, just towards the end there. As you were saying, Carrigan was just sat there, head in hands. If you've seen the replay of that play, you saw Zipnix's face. It was just like, what?
Yeah,
just
you know.
happened there? And like, obviously, at the moment, they look like a devastated team.
I mean, when
they're down to 1 life, and they know that really their chances may have just left them.
It looks tough, and you know, I'm glad you brought that up because, like you said, there's a reason he did that. Of course, some people wondering, well, he obviously in hindsight, well, you could have turned around, you had your op out, you could have not brought out your pistol first, but he had already made that conscious choice that I'm going to go in with my pistol. At that point, you can't really blame him, but of course, Kerrigan, it's going to be tough to not blame himself after that round. It's feeling really tough, like you said, D-Man. They are down to 1 life. Envy now up 2-0 in this matchup on the final day. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 lives still for Envy. Only 1 left for TSM. What will be the third map? Will it be the last one? The map vote has closed. Let's find out on stage with OJ.
Thank you very much, Chobra. Yes, who'd have thought we'd be in this position here on the final day of the Intel Extreme Masters at Gamescom? And what about that shot from Kenny? Yes. Ridiculous. I was sat backstage with their manager and he was just like, what? shocked. He reckons it was the best play he's ever seen. We're going to get that for you. You can always watch it on plays.tv, and we're going to have a look at it with Chobra and the boys on the analysis desk a little bit later on. But let's get to the map. Will it be the last one? We don't know. As you can see behind me, as always, the 8 votes, which means let's get someone from the audience. This guy here. Hit me with a number. 4. 4. We're going to go with 4. What is 4? This is the map. It's Inferno. Who does that work for? Oh my God, there you go. So we've got 5 Infernos, 1 overpass and 2 trains. So Inferno has been picked. Thank you very much to Gloffy1337. Inferno, will this be the last match of this last man standing tournament? Will Envy be the last team standing? We'll find out after the break.